Hey, how's it going there? It's your old pal Jim. I'm your reseller buddy. Took a bit of time off, about a week off from the YouTube, not from work or anything, but just to kind of reset myself and give myself a little bit of perspective on this new channel coming over from Super Picker Flippin' Duo. And we're not changing anything, or I'm not changing my mind on how I want to do anything, just to kind of give myself a shutdown and a restart and get back into it. So now we're going to do that today. Uh, Lots to talk about, particularly on eBay with shipping. So let's start there. All right. So USPS has lost their damn minds. We all knew that, yeah, they were, using stupid math and, charging less for 3 pounds, less to ship 3 pounds than to ship 2 pounds. Even 4 pounds is less. Um, and we do have a label that we put inside the box. I just print out a second label for any order that applies to. There it is. Basically says, these are the USPS rules. Enjoy your free stuff. Whether it's, cardboard pieces or usually it's a book or it's, something. I shipped a thing of bubble bath that came back from Amazon or Walmart or something like that. Like all that stuff I used to donate. Now I'm just keeping it because I need it to fill boxes with more weight. So I'm doing that. So the customer's getting extra, which is good for them. But now, your mailman has to carry around extra weighted stuff for no reason. And we're paying less for it. So whatever. So that's that. We all knew about that. That's been for, a month now, right? So, okay, that happened. So now we've got first class changes. And Freddie pointed out in a comment over the weekend that, what are you going to do? Shipping cheap, small, or selling cheap items, lightweight, isn't really worth it. No, it's not. And, what am I going to do? Sell through what I have, is what I'm going to do. Uh, and what I could do, there are options. And none of it is freak out. And none of it is complain. And none of it is, shut the store down or, whatever. It's just, take a step back, take a breather, figure it out. It's a puzzle. And I've been in sales my whole career. This is a sales job. eBay is a sales job. It's a resale job. You're selling stuff, right? So you're not face-to-face selling. You're not trying to get somebody to buy a specific thing like a car or a house or, even, a cell phone or whatever. Furniture or whatever you sell these days. But, you're selling online. You want people to buy your stuff you're selling. So you have to figure out how to make the system best work for you. On eBay, you have the ability to change what you sell. So you can do that. You can change what you sell. We've changed a bit recently. Last week, I bought part of a collection because there were several lots during the auction. I didn't get all of the lots. I think you got 4 of the 5 lots of Matchbooks and Matchbook covers. Somebody's very large collection, probably over 10,000 pieces. So I've got a lot of Matchbook covers now. A lot of them will be probably lotted up. A lot of them are quite a few of them are already listed. Over 200, I think I have listed, or at least 150 I have listed now. I've already sold about 30 uh, since I started listing them. Uh, and I'm just selling the covers, just so you guys don't freak out about hazmat and all that, because there's USPS is getting more strict about that, and I know, but I'm shipping them in a non-hazmat way, also in a way that I can ship them uh, using eBay's whatever weight envelope shipping, whatever they call that, standard envelope shipping. Um, but I have to list them as postcards, which when you take the matches out, they're basically mini postcards, right? They're at little advertising pieces for whatever business. Um, they're they're inert. They're inert. They can't catch on fire because you only have the strike strip on them. Uh, so you can just ship them plain white envelope for 78 cents. I sold quite a few, and this is how we're changing, right? So I bought a bunch of them. One person bought 17 of them this weekend. Another person bought 4 of them. A couple of people bought 1 or 2. That's fine. The people that bought 1 or 2, I'm shipping those 78 cents, right? The guy that bought 4, now I'm shipping them Ground Advantage, but at 4 matchbooks at $9.98 a piece, that's $40. Okay, right? Like, I think it cost me $5.97 in that case. That's fine. But even if it cost me $8 to ship that, I'm fine, right? The $17 one went to Hawaii. Now that one cost $8, $8.40 to ship it out to Hawaii. But he bought 17 between $5 and $7. So I'm fine with that, right? So that's how you kind of work this system to your advantage. Just change what you're selling to take advantage of the system, because now you're not able to, and I hate that USPS is doing this, because you don't know where it's not like, oh, West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, zone 7, it's just like Brown Advantage, right? Like zone 7 is more. No, now it's just if you're living in a rural zone. What is that? What's rural to you is different to what's rural to me. Is what's I shipped something to Binghamton, New York, and they counted that as rural. They have a semi-pro hockey team there, like a minor league hockey team there. That's not rural to me. Like if you have a stadium in your town, that's not rural. But I got charged 16-ounce rate for Binghamton, New York, because it was rural. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know their rules. They're not really disclosing their rules, and I could never keep track anyway. It's not like zones, right? It's just, if it's rural, it's going to be the full bang, 16-ounce rate rather than the 4, 6, whatever, 4, 8, 12, 6, 16. So, one thing I'm toying with again now is all first class items are just going to be, I'm just going to have to charge shipping, right? Now that's not my, what I call flats, which would be these matchbook covers, postcards, anything that ships plain white envelope. I'm still going to do free shipping. Once they get over that $20 threshold, it would flip to Ground Advantage, and I'm fine with paying whatever that rate is. Because typically stuff like that I'm buying in great volume, and it's pennies, so that's fine. So I'm toying with that idea. Anything that would qualify as like a first class, what used to be first class, I would now ship like calculated shipping, because I don't know what to charge. right? I don't know whether I'm going to have to pay $5.97 shipping or $8.40 shipping, or, you know, five, whatever the lowest rate is. Uh, and when my margins are that thin, I really can't, like, I can't take that risk on what's rural and what's not. So, uh, that's one way to go. But really, until we kind of cycle through our inventory, um, I may just flip on calculated shipping, adjust all of my shipping rates, which I just did that like 3 weeks ago to get everything onto first class to take out that extra $5 surcharge, um, which sucks. And I may just do a flat rate $5 shipping, just $5 shipping everywhere in the country. Um, knock off $2 on all of my prices and just go with that. I don't know, but typically, like when I change pricing like that and change my shipping, I'd like to go in and look at, you know, each item again, touch each item again, research pricing again, make sure that, I'm competitive with max shipping, where, somebody on the West Coast would buy it. But I'm going to have over 1,000 listings that would qualify to change the shipping. So, um, but board games are intriguing again because now my shipping has dropped on board games. So, board game market has kind of died a bit though. So there's that too. So, yeah, it's all up in the air. We'll put it that way. Still, we're still kind of testing things, and but I do like, and I've always liked buying big collections of stuff for very, very cheap, and things that people tend to go through your store catalog and say, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. The McDonald's stuff is a good example. These matchbooks are a good example. Postcards can be like that. Um, you know, I sold NASA stuff down in Alabama. That stuff was like that. Like anything like that, where the buyer will just be like, okay, I collect this thing. This guy has a lot of this stuff. Let me go and see what he's got and get everything that I want. And now, if everything up to 1 pound is the same price, run through it and get all you want. And I'm here to make deals. Like my matchbooks, I list everything at $13.32 full price, so that when I do it on 25% off, it goes down to $9.95. And the guy in Hawaii was like, what's the best you could do per matchbook that makes sense for you for shipping? And I was like, well, it really depends on what you buy, but let's start at $7. And he went through, and like 12 of them was like 7, 7, 7, 7. All right, cool. And then he goes, well, there's like 3 or 4 more, but they're kind of newer, so I can only really do 5. I'm like, send me the offers. That's fine. And so he did, and I took them for 5 more. So, when you're selling in that much volume, and it's only little, I mean, 7, it doesn't sound like a lot, but you times that by 12, and then you throw on another, what, $25 for the 5s. That's good. That's a good sale, right? So the 840 doesn't kill you so much. So that's the shipping thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for bulk that people will buy now, not like jewelry now. I've got 50 pounds of jewelry at home that we're still processing through. That's going to be a tough sell on eBay now. But you know what? Poshmark, Depop, Mercari, it doesn't really sell, but whatnot. Uh, all those platforms where either it's free shipping anyway, like Depop, uh, or once it goes back, customer pays for shipping. Poshmark, customer pays for shipping. Like, I just listed at whatever a reasonable rate is that I'm going to make some money on, and it sells. But on eBay, for whatever reason, whenever I flip on free shipping, I don't sell crap. I see other resellers on YouTube saying, "Oh yeah, I charge shipping, and this is what I got plus shipping." Blah blah blah. And it's like, man, maybe it's because I've done free shipping for 12, 13 years now that eBay doesn't like it when I move away from that from free shipping. So they're like, no, we can't lose a free shipping seller. So I, I don't know if that's certainly feels like it feels like it. So anyway, let's get down. I'm picking up auctions today. So Ashley's at home. We have family in town, so flying solo today and probably all week. Um, and yeah, we've got more stuff to pick up, more matchbooks, some ephemera stuff, old letters, old papers, advertising. So I don't even know what else. Not a lot. So if it was a lot, Ashley would be with me. It's not like she abandons work, but today's pickup was the auctions were weak, man. They were weak this week. There was a Milford auction, which is the next town down, a town over. There's a town in between, but 20-minute ride rather than an hour ride. That auction was terrible, terrible for me for what I sell. A lot of guns and gun holsters, which I don't mind selling gun holsters, but man, I got to know what they are, right? Like, because you can't just have a gun holster and not know what gun it fits, right? So, um, I don't know, rough, rough, rough. So yeah, we're gonna head down to Maryland, pick up some stuff. So let's get down there. All right, one more point I wanted to make. I'm going to tie in something I said in my last channel. So those of you that are just finding me for the first time, this will it'll make sense. But those of you that have followed me from Super Picker Flipping Duo over to here, uh, you've heard this before, right? And it all ties into this shipping change that USPS is doing. But don't pigeonhole yourself into don't pigeonhole yourself into shipping one category of items, right? Don't be a video game seller. Don't be a clothing seller. Don't be a tool seller. Whatever it is, don't be that seller. Be a curious seller. When you're out there sourcing, whether it's thrift stores, yard sales, whatever, online auctions like I do, have been doing more recently. Be a curious buyer, not a curious seller. Be a curious buyer. Be the one that pulls out your phone and looks up an item if you don't know what it is. Don't be the one to pass on an item because you don't know what it is, right? Learn something when you're out there sourcing. That's what I love about doing this, right? That's why I continue to do it, because I learned something about whatever, Be the one that is always learning expand your horizons. Be a jack of all trades, right? Know a little bit about a lot of different things, so that you can kind of have an understanding of this does well, this might not do as well, and you'll grow as a reseller. Um, and things like this USPS nonsense with shipping won't hit you as hard because you can adapt quicker. Uh, okay, they want to charge more for first class shipping. Okay, I'm going to change my buying strategy to fit that that change, right? And being in sales for my whole life, I'm used to doing it, right? If you've been in sales, you know how that goes. Every year, or every 6 months, or however long a company decides to do it, typically it's every year. Every year they come out and they say, this is your new commission structure. Sign it, right? So it's basically a contract saying this is how we're going to pay you your commission. Because the goals of the company change. So they're going to pay you your commission in sales based on the company's goals. So you have to then read the commission structure and say, what's the way that I can maximize my income based on this commission plan? It's the same exact thing here, right? Okay, USPS is changing how they're doing shipping. How can I maximize what I'm selling to fit their shipping plan? I don't understand why they're doing it. I don't understand the math behind it. I understand something, right? Like the rural thing, I kind of get. Like rural's a pain in the ass. I don't like it. I don't like singling out certain parts of the country just because they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's a public service, right? But and they are public. Like we're all public, right? Like doesn't matter where you live. But um, the 2 to 3 pound thing, I just don't get. But aside from just they want to take something from FedEx, which is going to undercut on heavier, just but you just have to find what sells to fit that shipping plan, whatever rates they set, right? So, okay, everything under 16 ounces is now the same price. Okay, what can I sell? To me, that is, okay, what can I sell in bundles that I can sell as an individual piece, but somebody's going to come on to eBay, find my item, and say, okay, what else do they have? That's my thing, right? That's what I'm looking for. Am I going to find it all the time? No. But that's my goal when I look at auctions, right? What can I buy in big lots that I think somebody will come on to eBay, the main site, and find my listing and say, I want that one item, but I also want to buy other items in this same genre. What does this seller have? Let me go to their listings and pick out a bunch of stuff. That's my game. That's my goal as a buyer to resell. Example of that is Matchbooks, which is what I just picked up, among other things. I bought other stuff too, but I've got a box of Matchbooks here. We're not going to go through the box because there's probably, I don't know, 300 or 400 in this box, but we're going to go over a couple. Let me just stop at this red light safely. So we've got a whole bunch of Matchbooks. Let me find one that's open. So this is Trump Plaza, right? This is probably 90s or so. Sorry, I'm looking at it for the first time. So, the matches are still in it. We're going to take the matches out, right? And that's just pulling this staple, right? You just pull this staple out in the bottom, pull the matches out, because the match book is what people want, right? Now these matches are kind of cool because they have the that hearts. Oh, it might be all of the suits, but it's got all the suits numbers and stuff like that. But the matches aren't what make the thing collectible. So pull that out, you flatten this by sticking it under a book or whatever, and people may be looking for casino advertising. That's what this is, right? People may be looking for Trump stuff. That's what this is. People may be looking for Atlantic City stuff. That's what this is, right? Like this hits a couple of different boxes. And it's a matchbook. Now, matchbooks, what I did, I knew people collect this, right? Like people collect matchbooks. My grandpa had a little like vase of matchbooks on his bar. Uh, you know, not a big collection or anything. But I know people collect these, not to this extent. I've got, probably over 3 or 4 thousand. But they have conventions, multiple conventions a year for matchbook collectors. People bring what they want to trade. They do trades at these conventions. There's vendors that sell matchbooks. There's specific like sleeves, like baseball card sleeves. They have matchbook cover sleeves. I had one in here. I don't know where it went. I think it fell. Yeah, it fell. But they have like literal binder sleeves for your matchbook covers. But you do want to sell them without the matches in them because matches are hazard. So you sell them like this, where they're just flat pieces of cardboard, and the strike spot is still on the strip. But that's not flammable in itself. So this is an older one. You can tell by the phone number here because it's just a 4-digit number. This is Musical Bar, East Baltimore Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 408 Musical Bar. So that's it. That's the cover. Kind of a cool looking cover. So I could ship this for 78 cents. I list it as a postcard because I can't list it as a matchbook because matchbooks are hazmat. Matchbook covers are not. And I wish eBay had a separate category and would put that in the plain white envelope section to ship at 78 cents, but they have not done so yet. So this goes as a postcard, and I'll ship this for 78 cents. $9.95 shipping. I could ship 2 in an envelope and keep it under $20. Anything over 2, then it goes to Ground Advantage, which then it's $30. So I'm okay shipping it Ground Advantage, especially when I spent $30 at this auction on 3 different lots of matchbooks and matchbook covers, and I've got probably 1,000. So less than a penny per piece. I'm okay with that. But I've got some. Here's a Dallas Cowboys one. Now this is a restaurant, and it's got the 1981 Dallas Cowboys schedule in there. So that's a cool collectible that hits a couple of different couple of different notes, right? You got your Cowboys, your NFL, maybe this specific bar, you know, there's a Trump Taj Mahal again, Trump. There's some restaurant ones, and then there's some kind of plain Jane ones. There's a lot of different things, right? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for now with the shipping. I can ship it, and I'm getting $10. I've already got $10. Like I said, there was that one that bought a bunch of them. So yeah, you buy a bunch, set $5 to $7 a piece. That's fine, right? Um, and I can do free shipping. I can eat the $8.40 shipping if that's what it's going to cost. If you're buying 10, that's okay, right? I'm buying them at less than a penny a piece. Um, that is absolutely fine. Now, what I'm worried about is how long some of them will sit, right? Um, like that one sale that I made, that 17 item matchbook cover, right? Got to remember to say cover, right? Because it's not matchbooks. The cover sale, um, that paid for that the whole lot of matchbooks that I bought at the previous auction, which was well over 3,000 pieces. So that's all free inventory just sitting there. A lot of it we're going to have to process by pulling out staples and stuff. So it's tedious work. It's work actually that Ashley enjoys. Not enjoys. I won't say enjoys. She doesn't mind doing it. We're sitting down at night watching TV, whatever show we're watching. We're watching Ted Lasso now. We're almost done. She'll sit there and just, pull staples. And while I'm listing. And she doesn't mind doing it. And that's fine. It works out. Now, what would suck is if you're doing this by yourself, you might not have time to go through, 10,000 of these. This is probably not one that I would list as in individual. Just a Chinese place. But there's another Trump. What's going on with Trump? Doral is a Trump hotel. This might have been before he bought it, but that's a Trump hotel. But going through, let's say 5,000 of those, pulling out staples, probably not how you want to spend your time if you're doing this by yourself. Unless you're just gonna, hey, I'm just gonna run through a batch of 50, pull them out. This would be my night, Just do that once a week. But because there's two of us, we can kind of tag team it. It works out. And again, this is not something that we're going to process all at once either. It's just going to kind of be there. It's already paid for. And it's not going to be something that's like, oh, we've got to get through this stuff before I buy more stuff. Like, no. However, I would like to have this stuff profitable before I buy more stuff. So I would like to make at least $30 on matchbooks before I buy more matchbooks. But that's a good way to put it. That's a good goal, I think. So if the next auction has more matchbooks and I haven't sold any more matchbooks, and I'm not buying any more matchbooks, right? So, all right. So that's all I got. Just be an accomplished seller by expanding horizons, being knowledgeable enough in as many different categories as possible to lessen the panic when something big like this changes, because it is big. It's a big deal. Like when a shipping service, a big shit, like that's one of the big three, when they say, hey, we're going to take 30% of your shipping cost because we're not profiting enough. That's a big deal. Like, that's a lot out of your pocket. Especially as a free shipping seller. Uh, Now, if you do calculated shipping, it's kind of on the buyer, so it sucks for that. But that's going to hit you as well because now you're going to lose some of that kind of opposite coast sale because those buyers are going to look for more local sellers to keep their costs. They would have been doing that anyway, I would imagine. So we're going to leave it there before I start to ramble for 10 minutes because I have a tendency to do that. So thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Just like everybody else says. Please comment because I do get ideas from your comments. I've been so turned off by the reseller videos recently because it's so obviously AI generated ideas. Like people going to ChatGPT or whatever other service they use and getting daily ideas for videos. And it's like, oh, I found this thing for 10 and guess what happened? Yeah, that's an AI generated idea. That's not you coming up with your own thing. Like come up with your own, do your own thing. So I need your help giving me a thing because I don't want to go to ChatGPT and have them give me a computer generated thing. Because I think that sucks. And it's not genuine. So help me out there. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah, we're just here to hang out, have a good time, and take a look at the stuff that I bought and discuss and have some laughs along the way. Hopefully. Not so much today. Not so much today. But now I'm going to go home and I got nieces and a nephew. 3 nieces and a nephew, and another niece on the way. So lots of kids at the house right now. Kids. House is noisy. House is noisy. So gonna go spend time with them, hang out, and I got pictures to take still. We still got work to do. Not this work. I got some other. I still got auction stuff from this weekend that I picked up. So we got work to do. We're gonna get to it, and yeah, I'll try to pop back on a little bit later this week. Check back in, let you know how things are going. But until then, thank you. Enjoy your day, your week. Catch you next time.